Hey guys, for today's video I wanted to try Brothers Bond Bourbon, which is a bourbon created by Ian Somerhalder and Paul Wesley. Never heard about it? Here's the details. So there was a show called The Vampire Diaries, which was an American supernatural teen drama television series which aired on the CW. It was on TV from 2009 to 2017. Ian Somerhalder, who played Damon Salvatore, and Paul Wesley, who played Stefan Salvatore, were the two main vampire brothers on the show. On the show, to curb their cravings for blood, they drank bourbon. They also drank bourbon offset whenever they had just, a day to relax, they weren't working. They would both bond and drink some bourbon and just enjoy the day. Now, during the television series, they actually wanted to create this bourbon, but acting on the show takes a lot of effort and time, so they just weren't able to. But when the show ended in 2017, they were finally able to create this bourbon. So the meaning behind the name Brothers Bond had one to do with the Salvatore brothers on the Vampire Diaries. They feel like brothers now, and they felt like brothers on the show, and they drank bourbon all the time. They bonded over this drink. They drank it the entire television series, so it's just a salute to that. And also, they wanted to create this bourbon for friends, family, loved ones, really anybody who's gonna drink this, to bond over this drink, to create memories while drinking it that'll last a lifetime. I didn't watch The Vampire Diaries until last year. I heard about it but never really watched it, but got into it last year and became obsessed with it. I love it. So I followed Ian and Paul on Instagram, and that's how I found out about their brand. They released it and started selling it last year for the first time, and I super wanted it. So my mom, being awesome, bought me it for Christmas, so we're gonna try it out. Now, let's keep in mind, I don't drink bourbon. When I have alcohol, I usually lean towards vodka, so I'll have Smirnoff, Seagram's, vodka cranberry, and I also drink Crown Royal Vanilla with Coke. But I've never had bourbon before, so I'm not sure what I'm gonna think about it, but we're gonna try it out. We have to, because it's their drink. So this is what it looks like. Haven't opened it yet. Have been patiently waiting to try it out, so I'm so excited to finally try this out. I honestly kind of don't even want to open it because I want to save it, but I think I might end up buying a second one to save forever because maybe it'll be worth money someday. Also, fun fact, their bourbon is the most popular celebrity-owned bourbon brand, so that's awesome. The color of this is really cool too. It's kind of like a golden sunflower. It is so pretty. I can't wait to try this. Like that. Oh my gosh. Slowly open it. And the cool thing about this is that they put a lot of thought into all of this, into the product, packaging, the drink, so it took quite a while for them to release it. After finishing Vampire Diaries, they finally had the time to start making this. So as soon as it ended in 2017, they started to create this, the product, the packaging, all of it. Finally, they were able to release it last year. That's the label on the top of this. Okay, there we go. We got it. So this is the back of it. There's a big label explaining the backstory behind the bourbon and just how they created it, and then all the ingredients to it. And then we also have this label right here along with the corkscrew. I forgot what this is called. The wooden stopper? Oh, wooden stopper. And then we have the front label here. And it's really cool because their story in creating this, they put so much detail into this image right here. It's actually more significant than you would think. Okay, so now we gotta take off this. Okay. And that sounded really cool. Before I try this, I want to actually smell it. I have watched so many Instagram lives with Ian and Paul, whether it's just them or they're talking to other people and they're getting interviewed about this bourbon, and he always is smelling it half of the Instagram live. He says that from a distance it smells floral, and then up close it has a banana baked bread smell to it, or scent to it. So we're gonna see what it smells like. Definitely interesting. I don't really know. It smells like something, but I'm not sure what. And let's do up close. It smells really good. It actually has like, in my opinion, it has like a woodsy smell to it, and I love woodsy smells because it reminds me of fall, so I really like that. Okay, let's try this out. So I specifically got this glass from Walmart to try it out. It kind of looks similar to the glasses that they use in their Instagram lives, so I figured it would work. So we're going to pour a small amount. Okay, I think that's about good enough. So I'm going to try this neat first. I have a Mountain Dew by me in case I don't love it, which I hope that I like it, but like you never know. But we're gonna just try this on its own, and then maybe I'll try it with ice and with another drink or like soda. I am so nervous. Okay. Oh, this is gonna be so strong. I'm so nervous. Okay, I guess we just gotta go for it. Oh, that's strong. Oh. 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 Mountain Dew. In my opinion, it's definitely a little hot going down, but I don't normally drink drinks like this, so to be expected. I took a way bigger sip than was planning, but I had to go for it, so I don't know if I can drink this on its own. I am just not crazy about these kind of drinks, but I'm definitely gonna have to have it with ice or with Coke. So let's get some Coke and see if I like it that way. Okay, so I guess we'll pour some of this into this one. Do like that amount, then we're gonna take this. Maybe I should have done a shot glass. We're just gonna go with it. I know y'all are probably like, why is she not adding ice? I don't always add ice to my beverages. Just saying. But since I like Crown Royal Vanilla with Coke, I'm hoping I like this. They have a lot of mixed drinks on their site, to be honest, so I'm probably gonna try some of those as well. So let's try it. The way it just hits the back of the throat, I'm like, oh. I think if I maybe do like a shot of this, it might be easier. But I was planning on not being obsessed with this drink, so it's okay. It's not the bourbon's fault, it's Gabby's fault. Gabby's not a bourbon drinker, but I'm still trying it, that's what counts. And I still just want to have this in general because I love Ian and Paul so much. They're so cute, such great actors. So I really just had to get it to have it. I'm gonna give it another sip. It's so strong. So like I said, they picked out each individual item that went onto this bourbon bottle. So this is the corkscrew up close. It's a really thick corkscrew, to be honest, but I don't really drink a lot of drinks with corkscrews, so I don't know much about them. It definitely has a strong scent to it, which isn't bad at all, especially if you like bourbon. I think you would like it. And they have their signatures right there, which is really cool. So when you buy the bourbon, you actually get their autographs. I love that fact. I think because I am trying it for the first time, I need to take another sip. I'm just gonna have my Coke at the ready. It's smaller, so it's easier, and I will try not to make a face for you guys. I'm actually gonna take a smaller sip because when they drink it, they don't take like this big gulp. They take like a nice small sip. So I'll sip it because I'm gonna be like that. That taste is just so strong. So here are some added details about this bourbon. It is 40% alcohol and 80 proof. And the full name is actually Brothers Bond Straight Bourbon Whiskey. I believe it was $45 on the site that I got it on, but I got it for either $35 or $40. I can't remember if I had a $10 or $5 discount code. This is what the back of the bottle says. Our brotherhood has led us right here, with all of you. Honoring the distilling traditions of classic American bourbon, we carefully selected a 4-grain mash bill of corn, rye, wheat, and barley. Our spirit is then skillfully cut into perfectly charred virgin white oak barrels, aged slowly and well, creating the flavors and aromas that make our bourbon a perfectly balanced expression. Life is about experiences. We crafted this hand-selected bourbon in hopes that you may strengthen bonds both new and old, reminisce, share, and enjoy all that it has to offer. Cheers, Ian and Paul. So I honestly love the description and just what their purpose for this bourbon is. It's really cool just for you to bond over it, have a nice drink with family, friends, loved ones, and just create wonderful memories. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. It is the first video of the new year. Had to do something fun and I had to try this bourbon for you. And I am still so much obsessed with the Vampire Diaries, so I thought it was a perfect video to start off the new year with. Hope that you guys like it. I would definitely say to buy it if you like bourbon. I personally am not a bourbon drinker, but it's good. It has good flavor. It tastes good. Even though I'm not like crazy about bourbon, I think it's definitely worth the money. And if you like Ian and Paul, it's definitely a good keepsake. And the cool thing about what they do as well is that all of the stuff that they put into this bourbon is all eco-friendly, so they're very much protective about the environment. Very environmental friendly. Anyways, hope that this year is starting off great for you guys, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!
Something that is someone else's creation.
But it's also the culmination. No, I agree with you. But it's also too, what's so interesting is this guy and I spent 8 years of our lives. Think about this. 8 years is a really long time. Every single day together. And then on the off, we shot 9 months a year, and those 2.5 or 3 months we spent traveling around the world together. It was an insane amount of time. That level of connection and bonding now all distilled literally into a bottle. So all of those memories, all that energy put into this it's like, it is on another level beyond the shadow of a doubt. And like Paul said, this is all, we created this. So while we're forever grateful for Brothers Bond, all of the stuff is in this bottle. And the other thing about it is clearly Brothers Bond, right? It's obviously a nod to us and our characters, but it's the bond you share with someone else. So many ladies are enjoying this, and so many, I mean, from 21 to 60-year-olds and upwards are just enjoying this daily.
Yeah, and it's not about, it's like Brothers Bond is our thing, our nod to us and our brotherhood in real life, our brotherhood on screen. But really, we created this thing so that people have bonds with one another, whether it's a stranger, whether it's on a Zoom. I mean, you know, we're all bonding right now and talking and having some bourbon. Like, that's what this is about, you know, and whether you're at a bar or at Thanksgiving, you know. So yeah, we're really proud of it, needless to say. I think that goes without saying. But that's a great question.
When you guys were on Vampire Diaries, at what point were you like looking at each other like, you like bourbon? I like bourbon. We should drink bourbon. Was there like a moment when you're like, wait a minute, did we just become best friends? Like, it's
mother lover.
Andy Samberg and Timberlake. Oh my god, that's brilliant, actually. But honestly, it happened from the beginning. You know, I said, So when Paul and I were creating these characters, this actually goes back way back, honestly, to Vancouver.
Yeah.
We were, I was 30, you were 26, I think. Yeah. And we were talking about, these guys literally live off of blood and, bourbon. They literally live off of
That's all they ever drank was bourbon.
Coffee to keep them warm, but it was bourbon and blood. That was it. And so, Paul and I, of course, we're
liquid diet,
right? It's like a young, sexy show, right? So Paul and I are just like in the gym, and we have trainers and all this nutritionists and stuff, and we're doing all this stuff. But then at the end of it, we would sit at dinner and we could have some wine and stuff, but Paul and I would bond over bourbon. Like Paul, Paul loved beer and wine, and you love your clear spirits, like amazing vodkas and stuff. But Paul was from New Jersey. I grew up in Louisiana, and when Paul moved down to Atlanta, we were in the deep South, and Paul fell in love with this brown spirit called bourbon, and we just bonded.
And genuinely, it became, it's like one of the things I looked forward to after a long week of work was like kicking back and having a bourbon. That was like what signified the end of a long week, and that I can just relax and give myself a treat. And that was my ritual. That was my ritual for 8 years.
Yeah, it's pretty special, man. And so, to be honest with you, for anyone watching who hasn't really gotten into this bourbon yet, and Brad's really the expert, but when you get into this nose, for anyone watching, the higher up you are on the nose, you're going to get the lighter notes, right? Brad, you can attest to this. The more floral notes, maybe a hint of like light citrus or something. But as you come down, this is what Paul and I geek out over this. As you come down and get your nose into that glass, you're going to get those bigger notes, the baked banana bread, literally like grandma made, right? Baked banana bread.
For real.
Orange peel, like a twisted orange peel, warm spice, maybe.
Definitely.
That's the difference.
And then just a touch of oak at the end. It's a lot going on.
A lot going on.
It's like our relationship, Paul.
Yeah, it's complex like me and Ian and our relationship.
Complex. It's a complex bond that cannot be broken.
Yeah.
Exactly. By the way, it's true. That's what our wives say, too.
Well, they're generally right, so I'll take their word.
I hate it. They're always right.
It's tough. It's a tough sled we all have to pull, but